Well, basically, imthemusic is a user-generated music review website. We kind of came up with this idea when all of our friends were frustrated with music blogs. I mean, we felt they were like snotty and pretentious, and if you wanted to get a bunch of opinions, you had to go to a bunch of places. If you wanted to share your own opinion, you had to start your own blog, and that was a lot of time, and we weren't really interested in that. So we wanted to create something where anybody could go and write music reviews, and that the best reviews and the best writers would rise to the top. So we made imthemusic. And we have a Facebook app, which until today has only been, you can only access if we've given you the link. It's only been open to like 300 of our friends. But now you can actually access it from our website, if the internet will work.
That's where it's gonna go.
And then you want to click the next one? Thanks. Okay, so this is our homepage, basically where you see our feed, where you see what your friends are up to and who's interacting with your reviews, as well as where you stand in terms of your friends. So I really like Radiohead. I saw them at Outside Lands a couple weeks ago. And I reviewed Amnesiac earlier today. And I see that Ben here was a sweetheart and thumbed up my review. And then I also see that Ben here wrote a review, so I'm going to go look at his review. And he writes a review and he mentions You and Whose Army, which is a really awesome song on Amnesiac. So first I'm going to thumb up his review because I totally like it, and then I'm going to comment on it and tell him that You and Whose Army is totally epic, and I was totally wrong to forget about it. You better say totally and epic. If you notice, I'm an associate editor, and Tyler is a junior editor, Ben is an editor-in-chief. Basically, our game is all based on rank and reputation, how involved you are in the site determines your reputation, and then when you vote on other people's reviews, the number of points that you can give or take away from their review depends on your reputation. So next I'm just going to show you how you can easily write a review with imthemusic. Lately I've been listening to a lot of John Coltrane, so we're going to write a review on a Coltrane album. And we see that there's already been a few albums on imthemusic that have been reviewed, but I really want to review Blue Train, which is down here, and if the internet will work. Ben's a really fast typer, and he typed in the review, and I'm going to give it like an 8.7. Because it's pretty good. I don't know if you guys have heard it. But now we've made it really easy, now that we've opened it up a little bit, to share it or post it onto my profile, email it to friends. And that's about it. Do we have any questions? For real?
Is that what are there more features, or that's?
We do. I mean, we have this Explore feature, which basically shows you either, it kind of gives you like a smattering of all of the albums. The homepage just basically shows you like what your friends have been up to, but if you want to see what strangers have been up to, you can see what's been written most recently. And also we have this really all of our data is really well organized and tagged, so we can look at, I mean, if you go to a blog or something, it can be really hard if you want to find all of the things about Radiohead or all the things about In Rainbows, whereas the way we've set everything up, it's pretty easy. Do you want to go back to Explore?
So how many do you have of these artists, albums?
Well, yeah, so we use Amazon's database to get album art and artists and albums, so we could get anything. Currently, there's I'd say there's about 1,600 reviews in the system. Probably have about 1,000 albums.
Do you have links to music or to buying music or anything like that?
Right, so we currently don't have a music player on here. We've always been really careful about that because at the very beginning when we thought about doing some kind of music internet project, we didn't want to get sued. So we are working on getting a player, but we have links to Amazon because we like their DRM-free MP3 model.
And is that how you make money? Is it affiliate
sales? We have those affiliate sales plus our regular lovely video egg video ads. And we're also actually working with a lot of local labels to do kind of embedded advertising where we have featured albums where users get more points and basically are more rewarded for interacting with those albums.
How quickly are you growing?
Well, we opened today.
generating just albums?
Well, so we kind of started with the album. I mean, we all come from this kind of like indie music background, and we're really trying to push more towards the album. We feel like that is the piece of art, and like for a lot of indie artists, like it's still all about the album. I mean, I really feel like one of music's biggest demises is that, you know, you get albums that are 2 tracks and filler. So, I don't know. I mean, I know that this is like completely over ideological, but we currently like the album as a piece of art.
We allow singles though. We allow any kind of like thing which is a tangible entity that you can buy, or even if there's like, for example, I recently reviewed the Brian Eno, David Byrne, internet only, you know, thing. So if it exists, you can review it, and also you can add your own data. So you can essentially, you know, release an album from your room that you recorded on GarageBand, and then, you know, post it on your MySpace and review it on imthemusic. Like pretty much any kind of data that is music data, you can put in there. But right, we're gearing it towards albums because we feel like that's kind of the direction that we want music to go, because we're selfish.
So for stuff that's not on Amazon, can people upload the album art and all that?
I think I showed the example. I mean, there's a, I already closed it. But yeah, there's if you search for it on Amazon and you can't find it, then, and also we search our own database, if you can't find it, then there'll be a button, add it yourself. You can upload album art. You can put multiple artists, like if you're doing classical music, often there's many artists.
Is the Amazon album art, is there an open API?
Yeah, Amazon is very open. So that we're lucky to take advantage of that.
Do you have plans to tie in at all with the new, what is it called? Sound Unbound, or what is the new Amazon kind of Wikipedia for music type site that launched, I think, 2 days ago?
No idea what you're talking about, but I'll look it up.
Can the data be exported for use in other things? Or
Yeah,
feeds?
I've actually been developing an API, but it's not open yet because nothing's really been open. And also we're kind of hesitant, but it's really easy for me to develop an API. So I could release it tomorrow if I so desired, but we're hesitant. But yeah, that's something that we're.
Why are you hesitant?
Because we're so small and we don't want to give away our data just yet.
So how long did this take, and how big's your team?
I'm the only developer.
Sweet, cool. And how long did that take?
It took me just over a month to make.
And what are your plans for? You know, is it just to leave it like this and get more and more people, or what are your plans?
Yeah, we really want to move out of Facebook. Like, Facebook is a great place to start because you don't have to worry about
ghetto.
Yeah. We don't want to worry about like account creation, but I mean, we should be on MySpace because people love music on MySpace. But that's probably next, and then our own website. But we're just kids, you know, moving along.
Yeah, we want to move out of, we want to see what kind of happens in Facebook, and depending on the way that users interact with it. I mean, we have an idea of how we want users to interact, but you know, I think oftentimes it happens where you build something and users take it in a completely different direction. So I want to see what kind of happens, and Facebook has a really nice low bar, but once we kind of see that, hopefully in the coming months, we'll move out of Facebook and, you know, potentially grow it maybe to tracks, maybe have the ability to play songs that you're reviewing. That would be really useful. Things like that.
Do you have any folks you'd like to partner with who you think it would make sense to tie their service in with yours?
Playlist, definitely. Brenda. And also, well, right now we're working with like a small like indie media company in East Bay because they rep like a bunch of local artists who would love like, I mean, right now it's our friends, so it's very San Francisco based and we have a super targeted audience. So it's neat to start working with these indie bands. We're also really excited we're gonna start offering like music as prizes. So we think it'll be fun to be like a Facebook app that actually like gives people something they can take away from Facebook when they stop playing the game.
Interesting. Anyone else?